Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. You guessed it, I am still battling with mold problems and I am determined to get to the bottom of it. So I purchased a mold test kit. It's a DIY test kit that I got on Amazon. They give you 10 petri dishes with this like jelly stuff at the bottom. There are 3 different tests that you can do with this kit. Number 1 is you could just set it on the counter so that the air can have the mold spores collect onto the petri dish. Number 2, you can put it up against your vent. You would need some tape, and I'm going to be doing that with my mini split. And number 3, you take a Q-tip and wet it, and then if you find a surface with mold on it, rub it against there and then put it in the petri dish to see if that surface is actually mold. We have to check after 48 hours, 72 hours, 96 hours, and 120 hours to see if there is mold in these petri dishes. Then I'm going to be putting an air purifier in my house and see if that takes out and cleans the air. And if I use all 10 today, then I will buy another kit to see if it's improved. At the end of this video, it gives me an option to send these petri dishes in to see if the mold that's collected in them, if there is any, to get better results. So it's about $40 per petri dish. So at the end of this video, we're going to see exactly what's in those petri dishes. First things first, we are going to be opening our kit. I had already opened it earlier. Found 2 bags, and this is if we want to send them into the lab for better testing. Here are the cotton swabs that we're going to use. Looks like there is 2 per pack. And then we've got our specimen dishes. We also have some directions. Let's do this. First one we are going to be doing is the mini split. They recommend taping it petri dish side in to the fan so that it can blow onto this jelly substance, and then we check it in an hour, close it off, and put it in a dark space for many days. So let's do this one. My second petri dish test thingy, I'm going to be doing the windows. I can swab each of the windows and put it on like section each of this jelly thing, which I think that's what I'm going to do. And they recommend using distilled water. So I have a little cup of distilled water just for that purpose. Dab it in the water and then dab it onto the mold and then slide it onto the petri dish. I'm going to do the middle window. And now I'm going to do the upper window. Next, we are going to do this cat loft window. I decided to do this window instead of the other one because both had just little dots of what I thought was mold on it. So we're going to see if it is. I'm going to place it in this cabinet where the mold was before, where the water had leaked. So I want to see if that has fixed itself with all of the sprays that I've been using. So I'm just going to let the air do what it's got to do in there for an hour, and then we check it later. One of them I used for the kitchen drain. So I did 3 different moldy looking areas by the kitchen drain. I did the sink drain as another one. And then I also put the... We're gonna see how all 10 of these Petri dishes do in 48 hours. We are going to be waiting 1 hour to put the lids on 5 of those. It is 3 o'clock right now, so we're going to be putting those on at 4 o'clock. And then we have to take all of the Petri dishes and put them in a dark place for 48 hours. And then they recommend checking again 72 hours, 96 hours, and 120 hours. So we are going to check the progress at each of those times. Alright guys, it is 4 o'clock, so that means it is 48 hours later. We are going to check on our mold specimen dishes. It's pretty interesting on what I am finding. The places that I thought had more mold, like the pantry, has less mold, so maybe I cleaned well in there. So check out what we found 48 hours later. This is super interesting. 48 hours and there's my office window. It is looking like it has tons of mold there. The kitchen drain, again, has some kind of mold on it as well. The cat loft window, we've got a couple different things going on there, maybe a little bit. The 3 hopper windows, that would be the top window, the bottom window, and the middle window. So it looks like the bottom window has the most. Have some mold in my bedroom. These 3 are actually from the window, and that's from the air. The kitchen air, there's not too much. I did the catwalk wood in 2 different spots to see if the lichens on there is mold, and it doesn't look like anything's growing yet because I actually did those later. The mini split looks like there's 2 little dots there, but that looks like about it. We've got some fuzzy stuff going on right here, some white and black fuzzy stuff. We already know that the kitchen spots under the drain was mold. The kitchen dots that are under the drain was mold, and then I also hit up the kitchen counter under the tape. So that looks like the same kind of mold as the kitchen drain. Moving into the bathroom, we've got the shower drain, which again is the same mold as the kitchen counter under the tape and the kitchen drain. And then the rest of those dots, that was airborne. Last but not least, we've got the pantry, which was airborne. It looks like we have 2 little dots right there starting. So this is pretty interesting for the first 48 hours of these tests. So we're gonna check again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We are at 72 hours later and everything looks extremely worse than it did yesterday at the same time. So it is exactly 24 hours later. I'm now starting to see the pantry dots starting to show up. The kitchen air dots, I believe, are also those green dots. And then the catwalk wood would be the yellow spaces. There's also a little bit under the second catwalk wood starting right there. And then the kitchen air had 1 little bit there. Kitchen drain kind of looks like the kitchen air one. Same with the hopper windows. So these 3 look similar. These 2 look similar. So this is the office window. This is the bedroom window. Cat loft window looks green like the other ones. This is airborne dots, and then this is the shower drain. And then we've got a couple on the mini split right there. And that was blasting for an hour at that. Very interesting. This is 96 hours later, and again, they are considerably worse than they were 24 hours ago. As I saw the mold coming in on these plates, I started to thoroughly and deeply clean all of the sections that had mold in them. So I have been taking an hour to 3 hours and cleaning all of these things. I've already cleaned the office window. I've cleaned my bedroom window. I'm working on cleaning the middle windows. I'm working on getting stuff to clean out the drains. We are at 120 hours later. This is not looking good. I have started cleaning all of these sections already. This right here is black mold, and that is on my catwalk. This is also black mold, which was in my bedroom. I'm working on fixing the sink drains and the shower drain. Let's look closer. Now with this kit came a mold identification guide, so I went ahead and printed it out. In this guide it tells you the descriptions of several different types of molds, the growth indoors, where it can be found, and the potential toxins, the allergic potential, and other possible health hazards. So I actually matched up mine against some of these. A lot of them were common, especially the ones around the windows and the ones in the kitchen and the kitchen sink, and then the penicillin also say where food was involved. It is clear that I have mold in my house. Again, I started cleaning all of these sections the day after I put the Petri dish lid back on the dish and put them in a dark area. I put on my air purifier, so we are going to see if the air purifier helps. I started cleaning all of the windows. It took me an hour or 3 to clean each window. I'm actually in the process of cleaning that window right now. Other than that, I have ordered another test, and when it comes in, I'm going to be doing a full retest, because after cleaning, I want to see if the stuff that I used, which is vinegar and water and clove oil, I want to see if putting that on and thoroughly cleaning it helped any. I want to see if the air purifier helped. I want to see if the dehumidifier helped. I have not been able to open my windows lately because here in Georgia, if it's 70 degrees and I want to open the windows, I will check the humidity and it's at 100%. So my windows stay closed and my air stays on. I need a little bit more help with ventilation. The weather isn't helping much because that's what I rely on to open my windows or not. I've always got my ceiling fan running, so we're going to put this mold in check and kill everything that we can in my house that is mold. One of the ones that surprised me the most is the catwalk wood. I made a video a while back about the catwalk and those lichens that are around the wood, and some viewers said that they were not harmful. The black mold showed up on the second piece of lichens that I rubbed onto the Petri dish. That's dangerous. So I'm going to be removing the lichens from the catwalk and probably treating the whole thing, because my cats rub against that. They use it as a scratching post. I don't want them near it. I don't want them putting mold spores into the air by doing that. So I think I'm going to treat that, because black mold is the most dangerous. I'm going to be dropping the link to this mold kit test in the description below. I highly recommend that you guys do this for your house. Every house has mold in it, so these Petri dishes will not be clear in anyone's house. So I researched. The toxic mold support group is also a very helpful one, so you guys can check out their link right there, and I'll put it in the description below. That is where I'm learning all about toxic mold, what it does to you, the symptoms people can have, how to treat it. So if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you can receive a notification every time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Petri dish test, mold kit test, that you either rub some mold on, blah. Woohoo! That just probably put moldy juice all over my floor. Damn it! And other possible blah. Mold specimen.